Hello to all my college football fans and friends out there. Welcome to another sports edition of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show. Sit back, relax. My friends, we are just a little over 2 months away from college football 2025 kicking off. And I just thought it would only be fitting to do a video today about the Georgia Bulldogs, strong football contenders for the up-and-coming 2025 college football season. And when you look at Georgia, okay, last season, Coach Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs finished 11-3. They did qualify for the playoffs, and they finished 6-2 in the SEC conference, and they were SEC conference champions by defeating the Texas Longhorns 22-19 in overtime. Many new faces have now stepped in, and especially they will be going with the quarterback, homegrown from Georgia, Gunnar Stockton. You know, Gunnar is that type of quarterback. Do I think he could lead this Georgia team? I believe he can. This is a very talented quarterback, not afraid to run the football, dual threat, cannon of an arm. And then when you mention key players returning from last year's team, Nate Frazier, as a true freshman last year, Frazier had a nice year. 671 yards rushing, 5-yard per carry average, and 8 rushing touchdowns. Tight ends coming back, Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, both had decent years last season. And defensively, this is going to be a good Georgia Bulldogs defense. Even though they lost a lot of players from 2024's defensive team, they have a few coming back. C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson probably could be the two best linebackers in college football this season. Secondary is tremendous. K.J. Bolden and Dalen Everett will be corner and safety in that secondary, along with transfer portals, Jaden Harris from Miami Hurricanes, very good strong safety. He will help out the secondary tremendously for the Georgia Bulldogs. And when you look at other key transfers that came in, running back Josh McCray from Illinois. Okay, this is a very, very good running back. McCray, last season for the Fighting Illini from the Big Ten, rushed for 609 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. This kid is the real deal, my friends, believe me. Wide receivers, Zachariah Branch from USC, very good wideout. Noah Thomas from Texas A&M, also a very sure-handed, very good, gifted, talented, skilled set position player as the other wideout. So, you know, when you look at Georgia, I think good things are going to happen, all you Bulldog fans out there. You know, Georgia's the type of team potentially reaching the college football playoffs in 2025 without a doubt. They're coming in ranked 4th in the preseason college football poll for ESPN. But they are facing a tougher schedule than in recent years. So, you know, for me, it's going to be one of those deals that to be the best, you have to play the best and defeat the best. So, I think Coach Kirby Smart will definitely have his hands full, without a doubt, in this very difficult 2025 college football schedule for the Bulldogs. But nonetheless, you know, you take a look at Coach Kirby Smart last season. You know, this was a coach that, once again, I thought did a nice job with this team. When you look back and see what had happened, you know, obviously, when your starting QB went down with that very decisive elbow injury, Carson Beck, that kind of turned the tide, okay, big time for Coach Carson Beck and the Georgia Bulldogs. You know, anytime you lose your starting quarterback like that, it is next man up. And that next man was Gunnar Stockton, who I thought did decent coming off the bench. Now, he did start against Notre Dame, where we all know the outcome there. Notre Dame went on to defeat the Georgia Bulldogs 23-10. But, you know, when I look back on this game, okay, and that's water over the dam, okay, but when I look back at this game, you know, it was not all Gunnar Stockton's fault, okay. Gunnar put up decent stats, okay. He actually did pretty decent in the first half of that game. But, you know, once again, you're facing a Notre Dame team that went on to the national championship, okay, only to lose to the Buckeyes 34-23. But nonetheless, this was a very good Marcus Freeman Notre Dame football team, obviously, to make it to 2024 college football national championship. So, you know, Coach Kirby Smart had nothing to be ashamed about, okay? It was just one of those deals that the O-line was very questionable, for me at least, the whole season last year, okay? The O-line must play much better in 2025. And for what I've been reading, a few of the offensive linemen did come back this season, which is a good thing. And they also picked up a few transfers coming in to Georgia that are very splendid offensive linemen. So I think all in all, my friends, that if you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan for 2025, the sky is the limit. Like I said, you know, you're returning Nate Frazier, Gunnar Stockton, okay, Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, and then defensively, Allen, Raylan Wilson, K.J. Bolden, Dalen Everett. You know, this is a very good football team, without a doubt. Very good football team. And I think that, like I mentioned, you know, this would be a team that obviously will be strong contenders in the playoffs in 2025. And, you know, once again, though, they are facing one of the toughest schedules than in recent seasons, okay, in Georgia Bulldogs football history. So, all in all, I think it's going to be a very exciting 2025 season, just like I thought 2024 was very exciting, okay? 2024 was the type of year that you could not put your finger on not one team, you know, who was going to win the national championship, because you had so many talented football teams last year, okay? Let's be honest, you had Oregon. Oregon held the #1 spot. The Ducks did. The longest than any other college football team last season. And then what happened? Come playoff time, the Buckeyes drilled them 41-21. So their 13-game winning streak was snapped right there, thanks to the hands of the Ohio State Buckeyes. And then when you look, you know, Georgia, I believe, held that #1 spot not long. Alabama was even in that #1 spot at one time last season, and it wasn't long. I think it was no more than 2 weeks, okay? And then Bama ended up getting beat. So, you know, my friends, it's one of those deals that 2025, I cannot put my finger on it, okay? You have Penn State as a very good football team in this up-and-coming college football season. You have Texas, okay? The Longhorns returning a lot of their talented, skilled set position players, okay? You have the Ohio State Buckeyes, defending national champs. You have Notre Dame. You have the Georgia Bulldogs. And let's not forget Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers are really turning a lot of heads this season in 2025, the up-and-coming year. So it's going to be a very interesting year, no doubt. And those are the best years I like, okay? I don't like a year that automatically everybody's already dictating who's going to win it all before the kickoff even starts in the first game of the year. So I like the years like this that you have potentially 5, 6, or 7 teams gunning for the national championship. This is what makes it fun, okay? I remember other years back in the 90s, automatically people would come in and say, the Miami Hurricanes, before the year even started, they're going to win it all, Okay? Or the Washington Huskies from the 90s was a very good football program. They're going to win it all. Not so in 2024 and 2025. So it's going to be a very interesting year, to say the least. I do think Georgia Bulldogs' outlook is going to be a good one. You know, you're returning Gunnar Stockton, who I think is going to have a really good year, okay, without a doubt. Okay, he is undoubtedly will be the starting quarterback, without a doubt, barring any injuries. Hopefully that does not happen in practice. And I think Gunnar has a lot of confidence now heading into the 2025 season, knowing that he will be the starter. You're returning sophomore now, Nate Frazier, that I said had a 5-yard per carry average last year and 8 touchdowns as a true freshman. And now from the transfer portal, you are getting Josh McCray from the Fighting Illini. Last year, 609 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns. So McCray will definitely help out the ground game. And offensively, I mentioned these receivers already. Zachariah Branch from USC and Noah Thomas from Texas A&M will definitely help out the wide receiving corps for the Georgia Bulldogs in 2025. My friends, if you are new to my channel and haven't yet subscribed, please smash that subscribe button. If you like this video, please click on the like button. Like always, please check out Super Thanks, new on my sports program. And like always, not only do I love to read your comments, but I love to get back and respond to every comment that I do receive. So please comment down below, all my dog fans out there, what you think of the Georgia Bulldogs in 2025. Like always, my friends, peace out. God bless you all. That's all I have for today. Until next time, Buckeye Vinny is out of here.